This is the Transformers Generations Power of the Primes Leader Class Evolution Rodimus Prime. The figure is part of the first wave of these Leader Class Power of the Primes figures. And here is a look at the packaging. So he's going to be Hot Rod evolving into Rodimus Prime. Matrix, he also has the Matrix of Leadership, just like Optimus Prime. Here are the Primes, the emblems of the Primes, and there you go. Nothing much there and there. All right, let's get him out of packaging. Here is the Power of the Primes Leader Class Evolution Rodimus Prime out of packaging, and I can tell you right now, not looking that pretty. I mean, there are some pieces that are like, wow, it's so cool, and then you get to this whole area right here. I'm going to show you right now. Just stand him up. This whole shoulder, torso area is what's putting me off with the figure. I thought the head sculpt was great, chest cavity is great, the arms and the legs, they look really cool. Then you get to the back, there's this huge backpack that should have been compressed somehow, but there's nothing. This is it. That's really how it is. The instructions say that's what the instructions say. That's how she should look like, with the backpack and those two guns. You see the Photoshop, he looks great. He looks fantastic. Rodimus Prima. And let's just get things done and over with. He stands just under 10 inches, but 9.5 inches tall with the crest right there. But it's not a pretty figure. The legs you see is so massive. This is how the Optimus Prime leg should have been. I think more solid. You get more kibble here, but then you go to the back, there's kibble. You get to the shoulders. I mean, seriously, Hasbro? These, they're obviously the thighs of Hot Rod or something. And you can see that there's a difference in plastic. This is the Hot Rod plastic, this is the Rodimus plastic, and come on, really? And this one, the arms, they look like Krang's arms. I apologize if I'm complaining too much. I know a lot of effort has been spent in the engineering of this figure to give us a G1 homage to Rodimus Prime, without really exactly being a masterpiece figure, but I think they could have spent an extra amount of time and research and engineering just to cover this one up. It's not looking very pretty, because it's a shame. The head sculpt is fantastic. From the waist down, it's great. The arms, I love it, but it just gets ruined by all these small details that could have been fixed, in my opinion. They could have been a panel that would make the shoulders thick, or I don't know, something to change the aesthetic. If you don't move him, you just display him like that, he looks great. But once you start playing with him, there it goes. Okay, he also comes with his own Matrix of Leadership. Just like Optimus Prime, you can replace the actual Matrix with a Prime Master. Okay, and then he has not actually a chest cavity, it looks like a stomach cavity, so you gotta be careful. You gotta pop open the entire assembly right here, and just be careful with the arms so they don't get caught on the sides. You pop them up like that, you can already see like Hot Rod like sitting on his armor. And unlike Optimus Prime, you gotta put the head down. Optimus Prime, you gotta put the head up. Rodimus Prime's Matrix, head down. Put him like that, and then you close him back up, and there you go. There's his Matrix of Leadership in his gut, in his tummy. Okay, his gun, very similar to his G1 rifle, and you can split it up for 2 pistols, which is okay. So yeah. Articulation for the figure, it's got these weird articulation. Bicep swivel, hinge elbow. This one has the swivel wrists, which is what Optimus should have had. No waist swivel. Ball hinge hips, ratchet a bit. Thigh swivel, hinge knees, Bit of a foot articulation right there. Rocker joints, yep. Okay. So, let's transform. Right, before we transform Rodimus Prime, just show him off with Masterpiece Optimus Primes, but the same scale as the Power of the Primes Evolution Optimus Prime. So this figure has a horrible transformation. I'm sorry, I do apologize if I'm being too hard on this figure, but it was not an enjoyable transformation. The engineering was there was some good ideas, but the end product just wasn't there for me. Like I said, in combined with, there's a lot of good parts, but then there's a lot of ugly parts. So let's get him transformed. Split the gun. Do that. Okay, first you got to remove the arms. And okay, this first step was like, when I saw the instructions say you got to do this, I was like, really, Hasbro? You're gonna do a fans project? The fans project is already done. The parts forming Rodimus, and okay, we'll see how that thing goes. So transform this. You just collapse those pieces, and then you combine it this way. And this is going to be the top of the Winnebago, and then the exhaust. We'll do that later. So removing Rodimus Prime, you gotta remove it as though you would be opening the chest cavity for the Matrix, and this thing just gets stuck every time. I had a difficult time doing so. Cover up that headpiece and snap it in like that. As you can see, where his business end is, that's where he attaches to the main body. And again, it's not as smooth as the Optimus Prime. There's a lot of tabs that you have to maneuver and negotiate just to bring him back in. It's not as smooth as I thought it would be. So, okay, I'll show off Hot Rod later on after we do the Winnebago, the alt mode, because it's easier to turn him into his alt mode in this form. Okay, so we'll leave it there. I'll leave him off to the other side. So you don't have to remove your matrix. If you want to, it's fine. You don't have to. So do it this way. Open this up, rotate this, okay, and then fold the entire half waist up, half down, like this. Make him like bend forward. Fold that there, okay. And then what you want to do is you want to fold this entire piece back. So there's another hinge right here. So first you fold him by the hips, the hip joints, and then there's a secondary hinge right here. Fold it this way, and then as you are collapsing this thing, you gotta fold these panels forward so they don't catch the thighs. And again, that I thought was, I mean, just playing it too close to those clearances. Join the legs together, and I'm already saying to myself, this is not gonna go the way you think it will. Oh my god. And then, okay, looking good. So far so good. Okay, fold up the legs, and here again, more woes for me. There's a very thin slot right there to tab in, and on this side it's just ridiculously tight. Fold this, fold like this. Okay, or maybe we should do this first. We'll do that later when we connect a Hot Rod. So here I was like, oh really, a fans project, huh? So again, this was very difficult. You had to negotiate those tabs, and then you had, once you've slotted them in, you have to sort of push them like that to just lock it. And I keep thinking to myself, if kids are going to be playing with this, 8 years old and above, they're going to ruin it. And that's the hitch. That's where you hook for the hitch. And then these we'll do that later. Just get them into position. The guns, you can go on top of the trailer like that. And even the trailer already looks ugly, and I was like, damn. Sticker is good though. I get a lot of stickers here and there. Okay, so that's the trailer. On to Hot Rod himself. So let's turn him into his alt mode first. What you want to do is stretch out the legs. Rotate by the knee, not by the thigh, just by the knee, 180 degrees like that. Fold up the feet, this, and then here's where it gets interesting again. See, as you're folding this, you feel like you're going to break it, and you just have to continue until you hear that sort of breaking, snapping sound. And then, where things weren't already bad, look at this. They could have made it simpler. They could have just put some circle pegs or whatever, or just kept these and not got rid of this. But what you have to do just to tab them in is you have to slant, put it at an angle, and snap it in like that. And I thought this was the most but at this point I've had it. I was like, I had already had it with this figure, and I was like, this figure is not gonna get a high grade for me. And I was like, that was ridiculous. They've come a long way of engineering transformation. That was laziness. They shouldn't have done that, and I thought that was detrimental to the health of the product's gonna break if you do it one too many times. And again, they do it again here. The instructions just tell you to just fold it up like that. You can't do that. You gotta slot it in, and don't fold this whole shoulder piece up flush onto that fender right there, because you're not gonna be okay. So, well, technically it would be very difficult. Sorry, like here I had a hard time, like, just see, there you go. It's so hard to tab it in. What I thought would be easier was put a little bit of a gap right there, and then fold the forearm flush, and then just sort of catch it like that. That I thought was the easiest way to do it. And even that was ridiculous transformation. I do not want to go do this over and over. And then this is probably the best. The only thing I liked about the transformation was the exhausts panels just folding out like that and just tabbing it. That's probably the only nice thing about the transformation. And there is Hot Rod Rodimus Prime in his Speedster alt mode. And then I suppose you just have to, there's a slot there, and you just tab it in. Okay, fold these. Suppose. Oh, sorry. Okay, fold these back up like that. We should be able to. Okay, there we go. Okay, there we go. All right, and then just tab this piece right here. Here and then there. Okay, tab this thing. It doesn't even align properly. There's a notch right there. You're supposed to tab it in like that. Tab this one in like that. Okay. It just keeps untabbing itself. Again. And there is truck mode for Rodimus Prime. Not the prettiest truck mode, not the prettiest transformation, but it comes out to a compact Winnebago of sorts. It could work. It's just such a chore getting him from one mode to another, and it's just driving me nuts. Okay, so yeah, it's okay once you've done it. Pretty stable, but just to get there is a pain in the neck. Okay, let's see if I can move him without breaking anything. Okay, all right, get rid of that trailer. At least it stands up. So let's get him into his robot mode, and again, very gingerly remove those leg pieces. And like that. Oh, yeah, that's fine. Okay, untab the arms. And here. Fold in. The instructions just tell you to rotate this piece right here. You can't do that. What you need to do is like pull it up, rotate, and then push it down. Fold it back up, like there. And that's it. Okay, and then he can hold obviously one of the guns like that. Oh, we're not gonna do that. Okay, pop open the feet. Even this one I thought was ridiculous. Okay, like that, and there you go. There is Hot Rod. Very short legs. Very long, lanky arms, but very short legs, giving off that G1 vibe. And speaking of another Hot Rod figure, this is the Titan's Return Hot Rod figure, which I'm assuming will stand at about 6 inches tall, just under 6 inches, 6.5 inches. Oh, 5 3/4 inches. He stands about 6 1/3 or 6.5 inches tall. I'd take this Hot Rod anytime, seriously, over this one. This one has a G1 vibe, so it's okay, but I do like this one better. Got some articulation because of transformation, so very cool. Again, just like his combined mode, his evolved mode, he's got that waist back skirt kibble. Yeah, the legs do appear too short. It's got some stickers here and there, some tampos here. Not too bad, but it's not the greatest figure in the line, I believe. And I cannot in good conscience give this a very high grade. I think I was more frustrated with this figure than that Voyager Starscream figure. So Starscream, I gave it a 7. This one, I would love to give it like a 6.5 or 6 out of 10. That's how frustrated I was with it. It had a lot of aesthetics going on, really nice aesthetics. I think on paper, but execution wise, the transformation is just horrendous. The end results of both the Hot Rod, the Rodimus Prime, and the Winnebago, it's just not doing it for me. And yeah, I think I'm gonna give this one a 6 out of 10. Very, very frustrating, Hasbro. And now I'm not looking forward to getting that Unicronus Prime, Rodimus Unicronus, something like that, the black version of this Hot Rod. I'm just not looking forward to that figure. I was looking forward to it before I got this one, but man, what a disappointment. There you go, folks. If you hated the figure, don't give me a thumbs down. Give me a thumbs up if you liked the video. If you hated the video and the figure, fine, you can give me a thumbs down. This has been the Transformers Generations Power of the Primes Leader Class Evolution Rodimus Prime. Thanks for watching.